little story I want to tell you. Another fishing trip I had back in probably 1995, 96. It was a lovely town, little coastal town, northwest Florida. It's called Steinhatchee, maybe Steinhatchee, wherever you're from, however you pronounce that. But I call it Steinhatchee. I had came back from my living in Florida, from my living up in Alabama. I came back home to Georgia, and I had met Donna. And one day I was talking to Donna. Here I am doing my glasses thing again. Sorry about that. One day I was talking to Donna after we had met. I said, man, I want to get in touch with some people I used to know. So I called my ex-brother-in-law. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But of course, I couldn't embarrass anybody. So I'm not going to mention his name. But I gave Lord a call. I said, how you doing? We ain't seen each other in a while. And we were talking. I said, I'll call you in a couple of weeks. So I called a couple of weeks, and I remember we used to always go fishing up to some of the lakes in north of where I'm at, and sometime south. Gotta get this right, because I'm purdy, you know what I mean? Purdy. I said, why don't we go down to Steinhatchee sometime and go fishing? Well, hell, that's a good idea. Now, Steinhatchee, Florida, Steinhatchee, however you pronounce it, fantastic place to go fishing. Most of the fishing in that area is flat. When I say flat, you can go out probably 4 or 5 miles out into the Gulf and get out of the boat and stand up. But it's good fishing. So I had talked to my brother-in-law, and I'm not going to say his name. Now, Lloyd had this boat, or he said he had this boat that was great for fishing down there. So I said, okay, let's plan on going Steinhatchee one weekend. So we made plans, and the night before I was supposed to meet him at his house, he lives south of me, which probably 40 miles south of me. I said, I'll meet you there. I said, you got the boat ready? You got everything ready? Yeah. I said, the boat's cleaned out and everything's ready to go. Yeah, sure. I should have known better. So anyway, that morning I get down there, go up to the door, and he'd come to the door and hug, because we hadn't seen each other for a long time. I said, got everything ready to go? Yep. Just give me a minute. I said, where's the boat? He said, it's over next to the shed. I said, all right, I'm going to go check the boat out. So I go over to the shed where the boat's at. Now, this is about a 14-foot boat. Great for small lakes, rivers, or whatever. And I go over there, and this boat has got about 6 to 8 inches of pine straw inside of it. The motor looks like it hadn't been ran for 10, 15 years. The trailer is nothing to be proud of. And I look down, there's one flat tire on the trailer. So I go back to the porch. And my brother-in-law comes out. He said, I think I'm getting everything ready. I said, I thought you had the boat ready, Lloyd. Well, I didn't have really time. I said, have you got everything you need to get so we can go? Well, no, I got a few more things. I said, I'm gonna go clean the boat out. So I went out there. It took me about probably an hour to clean this boat out. Hang on a minute. Took me about an hour to clean this boat out. I filled the tire up with air. Now at this time I had a full-size 85 Bronco. And that is a big vehicle. So I backed my Bronco up to the trailer. Get it hooked up. About that time, my brother-in-law comes out. He says, everything works. And I look down, the wire harness, from where you plug it into my Bronco, where I had a wiring harness, going to the trailer, it was in 2 pieces. I said, what's this? Damn rats must have ate it, squirrels must have ate it. I said, I thought you had this thing ready to go. And it ain't gonna take but a minute to fix it. So, got it fixed. The trailer's ready, the boat's ready from me, because I cleaned the damn thing. He's got all this stuff, put it all in the Bronco. I got my stuff in there, we were ready to go. Now, we had made arrangements that I would pay for the gas down there and back. He would pay for the hotel. So I had a full tank of gas, and about halfway down there, I had to stop and fill my Bronco back up. So on the way down there, I said, now you did get a place right on the Gulf, right on the water, where we can put the boat in there and leave it and not have to worry about it. Oh yeah, it's the best place in the world. So we get into Steinhatchee. It's dark when we get down there. So we get in and get out a little bit out of the town. Going down, I'm looking to my left, because that's where the water's at. Trying to see where this hotel is going to be. So we get right up. He said, turn right. So I turn right into this roadside motel looking thing. I said, why are we here? He said, this is the hotel I got. I said, I thought it was supposed to be on the water. He said, but I got this $10 cheaper per night. And I know the people here. They're all friends of mine. It's $10 cheaper a night. It's a lot better. So we go in to register. Of course, he'd already made plans with this hotel. He walks in and says, hey, whatever this woman's name was, she says, hey, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm Lloyd. Okay, Lloyd, can I help you with something? I'm going, oh God. Oh yeah, I remember you. It'll be so and such, such, such. He paid for it. And while he's paying for it, I'm looking across the road over to the water. Beautiful place over there. Hotel. They've got a restaurant. They got a dock. They got where you can put your boat in and everything. I'm looking over there, and I'm looking at this place like, what? So he registers, sign everything, pays the woman. So we go to the room. Open the door, and I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, but I went, Lloyd, I thought we was on the water. Yeah, but this place is $10 cheaper per night. And I know these people. They love me. I said, okay. So I said, I'm hungry. Can we go get something to eat? He said, yeah, I know several places downtown, and or downtown, in town. And I know some girls up there, they love me to death. So I go back by the office. I asked one, I said, do y'all have a restaurant here? He said, no. The good place to eat is across the street. I mean, if you want to eat, go over there. It's the best food in the world. So anyway, I get back in my Bronco with Lloyd. I said, all right, Lloyd, where's this place you want to eat that everybody knows you and we're going to have a good time, right? So we drive about 4 miles down the road, come up to this restaurant. Get out and go in, get a table. Now I'm looking around, well, not too bad. And the waitress comes over, can I help you? He said, yeah, I'm Lloyd, remember me? Remember me? And she said, no, not really. Oh, your owner knows me. We fish down here all the time. So she takes our order and goes to give it to the cook. And apparently the owner walks by and he says, Lloyd says, hey, remember me? The woman says, no, not really. Well, okay, I'm here all the time. You probably don't remember me. So these girls, women are in this restaurant trying to eat. Lloyd's flirting with every one of them because he thinks he's God's gift to women. I'm going, oh God, I should have known better than this. I should have known. So anyway, we eat, get back to this place we're staying. I'm not going to call it a motel. I'm not going to call it, I damn sure ain't going to call it a hotel. We finally, that night, because we're tired, get some sleep. So next morning I'm up early. I walk across the street to this other place that's got a restaurant, got docks where you can put your boats in and pull up right to your room in the water. And I asked the manager, I said, how much is this hotel per night? He told me. I said, what does that include? He said, a free boat launch, and every day that you're here, you can have your own slip where you can put your boat in. I said, okay. So I went back across the street, and by this time, Lloyd's up and somehow got him a cup of coffee somewhere. I guess it's from his friends at the front desk. I said, Lloyd, do you know that you can go across the street and it's $10 per day more than it is here, but they got a restaurant and they got a boat slip right for your, right in front of your hotel room or motel room? Yeah, but I know these people over here. These good folks. All right. So we'll get everything ready. Of course, we had to drive across the street, back it up, back the boat up. They said, okay, it's a $10 launch fee to put the boat in the water here. Oh Lord, give them $10. And I'm going, okay, we could have got it free the whole time that we stayed in this hotel, but we're going to save $10 an hour. But it's $10 per day. I'm thinking all this. Not a problem. Not a problem. So we get the boat in the water. I have to take the trailer back across the street because they won't, unless you're staying there, they won't let you keep your truck in the trailer there. You got to take it back across the street. So we go into the bait shop there at the motel, the one that's across the street, motel hotel. And they got one section for the people that are staying there, and they got one for the people that are not staying there. So we walk up to the one that's not staying there, and they got these prices on the bait. So my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, is getting bait. And I'm looking over here at this free bait. So I walk over there and I said, why is this free and that you charge for that over there? Well, this free bait is for the people that stay here. Oh my God. So he gets the bait. We got the boat in the water. Now it's we paid $10 to put the boat in the water. Bought the bait. I don't know how much the bait was, but it wasn't free. Trust me. We were ready to go. So we get in the boat and go out. Now remember, this is Steinhatchee, Florida. It's flat. You could probably go 4, 5, 6, 10 miles out. I don't know how far. Get out of your boat and the water wouldn't come up to your waist. But it's fantastic fishing in that place. I'll give you that, Steinhatchee. Fantastic fishing. So we got the bait, the paid for bait, got everything. Get out there, fishing. Somebody forgot to bring food with them. And guess who that someone was? It wasn't me, someone else. And the only thing I had, since I'd been to that motel across the street, and they had this free stuff over there, I'd been over there snacking on that morning. So we got out fishing. Lloyd ain't got a damn thing to eat. But I had bought a few snacks, chips and crackers, and I'd also bought some potted meat, a vein of sausage and crackers. Of course, we had beer. Lloyd made sure we had beer. And I had some sodas. So we get out there, and about midday, getting a little hungry. Been fishing all morning. Ain't caught a damn thing. A few little bitty small things you can't eat. Been fishing all morning, and I said, damn, I'm getting a little hungry. I said, what'd you bring to eat? About that time it dawned on him he didn't bring nothing. I said, all I got, Lord, is crackers, a few chips, bag of sausage, potted meat. He said, that'll make a good lunch. So we ate that. Now, whether you guys stay back for part 2 or part 3 of this, I don't know, but it's gonna get a little bit better. All right, talk to you. Welcome back to part 2. If you missed part 1, you might want to go see it. But let me get back to the story. So we fished this weekend. The next day was the same thing. The night before was the same thing. Went into town. Got something to eat from where my brother-in-law knew everybody. Good friends, loved him to death. Went on. Sometime during the, I think it was the first night, Lloyd had went to sleep, and I walked across the street to the payphone, since there wasn't a payphone where we were staying. Now this is before cell phones. So I got on payphone and I called Donna at our place. I said, get me the hell out of Dodge. Please get me out of here. She laughed, said, what's wrong? I said, I am so miserable. You coming home tomorrow, don't worry about it. I said, all right, I know, I just thought I'd call because I wanted to talk to somebody, you know. So anyway, next day we fished and did the same thing and got ready to come home. By the way, we did catch some nice trout, a few redfish. So we got to bring some fish home. So anyway, on the way home, we, about halfway up, we stopped and I had to fill my Bronco up again with gas. Finally got back to my brother-in-law's house, Lloyd. Said our goodbyes, and I said, I'll give you a call. He said, well, call me when you get home. I said, okay. So I left. Finally got home, I gave him a call, said I'm home. So we talked. After that, I don't know, 3, 4 times in the next couple of months. So one day I call him and he said, why don't we go back to Florida? Go back down to Steinhatchee. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I don't know if I want to do this again or not, but I said, all right, maybe that one time was a fluke. Couldn't happen twice, right? So I said, okay, let's make plans. So the night before we were supposed to leave, after we'd made plans, he says, hey, you mind if, I don't want to call his name, but it's my nephew, Lloyd's son. I ain't gonna call his name because I don't want to embarrass him either. So Lloyd says, you mind if Wesley goes with us? I said, no, I'd love for Wesley to go with us, you know? So we'll get down there. This time I ain't got to hook no trailer lights up. I ain't got to put the air in the tire either. The boat's got a little bit of stuff in it, but I cleaned that out, no problem. Had Wesley there to help me out. Now Wesley calls me Unc. I guess that's short for uncle. And I hadn't seen Wesley in a long time before then, and I sure hadn't seen him now in 20-something years. Haven't seen Lloyd now in 20-something years, but good memories. So anyway, we get everything ready. And now this trip, I'm paying for the hotel because I know what to do. I'm paying for the hotel. Lloyd's paying for the gas. So I'm driving, Wesley's in the front seat, Lloyd's in the back. Big old bag, he can lay down, sleep, do what he wants to. Me and Wesley was hoping he'd lay back there and get drunk and just go pass out till we get there. But anyway, I had a full tank of gas. Get about halfway down, I had to pull over to get gas. I said, all right, Lloyd, your time to fill it up. No, not a problem. Pumping gas, pumping gas, pumping gas, and Lloyd's looking at the pump. He said, how big is this damn tank on this Bronco? I said, whatever came with it. He said, good Lord, I didn't know it took this much fuel. I said, yeah, it does. So I filled it up, Lloyd paid for it. Now we get on down the road, and once we cross into Florida, we got about 30 miles, and we cut off to go to Steinhatchee. So I said, Lloyd, now you did get the hotel that I asked you to get, didn't you? Got no problem with that, right? Nope, got a problem with that. I turned around and looked, and I'm driving. I turned around, I said, what kind of problem we got? I said, they were full, they didn't have any reservations. I said, well, when did you call them? Well, I called them yesterday. I said, you're supposed to make reservations a couple of weeks before this. Where are we going to stay at? I said, across the street where we stayed last time. Them was good friends of mine. They loved me to death. I'm like, oh my God. I looked at Wesley. I said, I think I want to turn around and go home now. He said, no, it'll be all right. So we finally get down at Steinhatchee, same thing. He goes, hey, how are you, everybody? And by this time, I knew how he was. I said, hey, Lloyd, back again, huh? He said, yeah. So we register and go out to eat that night. Come back. The food was really good where we went, but that was in town. Come back, messing around. Lloyd's drinking all day, and he finally just pretty much passes out. So me and Wesley sitting there. And I've been drinking too. Wesley drank a little bit, but not much. Oh, Wesley says, Hunk, mind if I go to town? I said, no, go ahead, fine. I wasn't thinking he didn't have no way to get there. I think what he was going to hint at was, can he drive my Bronco to town? So he finally says, mind if I drive your Bronco? I said, sure, you got a driver's license. Hey, you're not drunk, you can drive it. He said, good. So he left, went to town. Lloyd's in a motel, or this place, passed out. So I'm sitting there by myself, nothing to do with this place. So I look across the street, and they're having a party over there now, big time. So I walked across the street, and I just walked in, just outside on the patio, the decks, and behind the hotel, and where everybody was. I just fit in. And I was joking and carrying on just like I was staying there. Made a lot of good friends that night. So, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours later, I went back to the hotel, and Lloyd's still sleeping. Gotta look pretty for the camera, all right? Mm-hmm. So, I'm tired because I drove down there. Wesley finally comes back in, and I asked, Wesley, I said, you have any luck? Nah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right, Unc. So the next day, pull the boat across. I know what it's gonna cost. I give the guy $10. Now this guy didn't know me from the night before because he wasn't there. I tell Wesley to pull the Bronco back across the street. So I walk in. Guys was in there. Said, "Hey, Sid, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great, man. How y'all doing?" "Oh, we're doing good. Yep. We're going out today." He said, "You want to go with us? We got this big boat." I said, "No, I'm with my brother-in-law and my nephew." He said, "Hell, we got room for all of you." I said, "Nah, I better stay with them. I appreciate it, but maybe next time, man." He said, "Well, here, get y'all some bait." So I'm over there getting all this free bait now because I know these people in this hotel. We're good friends. I get the bait, go back outside, and had the boat in the water. Wesley had come back over from parking it, and Lloyd's there at the boat. I put the bait in. He said, "Damn, did you buy that much bait?" And I said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it." So I said, "By the way, got any food with you?" "Yeah, I got some food this time." I said, "Good, I got some too." So I'm gonna make a long story short, and this is something that I've been laughing about for years and years and years. And I'm surprised I'm still around. I'm surprised I didn't fall out of that boat and drown in 4 foot of water. So we were all out there in the Gulf. Now remember, this is a 14-foot boat. I'm in the front, in the bow. Wesley's in the middle on the bench seat. Lloyd's in the back. We're out there fishing. We are catching some fish, good fish. And we kept moving that day. And of course we ate good that day. Had plenty of bait because I made friends with the people at that other hotel. So anyway, once we started moving around, wasn't paying much attention, and the next thing we knew, we couldn't see land anywhere. All you could see was water. I went, "Either one of you guys know which way we got out here? Because we're gonna have to get back." And Wesley said, "I don't know." I said, "Wait a minute, I know where the sun was when it was coming up. When it starts going down, I know to go the other way. So that's no problem." So we're out there in the middle of the Gulf. Not in the middle, but it might as well be in the middle. In a 14-foot boat. No land anywhere. And I'm sitting there in this one big pelican looking thing. Big old thing. It was bigger than a seagull. It had to be a pelican. One bird, one 14-foot boat in the middle of the Gulf. Nothing else around. I said, "Damn, that bird must be lonely." And about that time, Wesley looked up. He got splattered right between his eyes. This went all over his face. God damn it. Lloyd turns around and looks. Lloyd starts laughing. I'm over here about to fall out of the boat. Wesley said, "You start some of them." I said, "Wesley, what happened?" He said, "That damn bird just messed all over." But the funny part about this is a 14-foot boat, no land in sight, one bird right between us. Oh my God, that was so funny, man. But I was rolling on the floor of that boat. Lloyd was laughing. Wesley wasn't laughing. He's over splashing this water all over, trying to get clean. He said, "You stupid son of a bitch." So anyway, we fished. We caught a lot of fish. Had a good time. Get back to the dock, get the boat out. I go over and talk to some of my buddies now at this place across the street. And I tell them that story. Wesley comes walking in. That him? I said, yeah, that's him. He said, Wesley put his finger up. I quit telling that damn story. That wasn't funny. I said, yeah, it was funny too, sir. Wesley, I love you. Lord, I love you. Talk to you guys. All right?